Lazevo likes to talk about life while he's shooting people in the face. Lazevo.
What is going on, everybody? It's Lazevo here. Got a bunch of stuff on my mind I figured I would talk to you guys about, and I have a little cool Christmas story for you that I think you guys will like. But first things first, my last two videos have gotten a pretty good response. Some of you guys may be new to my channel, and if you are, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for subscribing if you did, or just checking this video out, or whatever it is you're doing. If you're watching this, thank you. And my last two videos have gotten really good responses. The one being the 12 things I hate about Modern Warfare 3, my little parody of the 12 Days of Christmas. It's me singing terribly to no music, but I wrote the lyrics, and I think everybody sort of connected with them, so it got a really good response. So I thank you guys for that. That was my best video, views and likes wise. So that was a cool thing. Like I did put a lot of time into that, and it was an idea that I was excited about, and I'm glad you guys liked it. So the other one was the worst game I've ever spawned into. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check that out. I think we've all spawned into bad games, when we're trying to join a lobby, especially by yourself. But this was exceptionally bad, and I still claim it's the worst. I don't know if I've seen anything that's that bad, but I know people were tweeting it to Robert Bowling and stuff. So keep doing that, guys. Make sure he sees it and make sure he knows this game is whack. Something's not right. So I guess those are the two things initially that I had on my mind. I guess let's talk about my cool story. So I'm doing this commentary. It's Christmas Eve, and I got to thinking, what is a funny, cool Christmas story that I can tell you guys? And this one thing came to mind. So I went to school at Michigan Tech, and I live in the Detroit area. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the geography, basically I went to the northernmost university in Michigan, which is way up in the Upper Peninsula. So from Detroit, it's about a 9.5-hour drive. So that just puts it in perspective. And the reason I went there is because I wanted to be an engineer, and they got a good degree, but it's far away from home, which was kind of nice because it doesn't have that same feeling of like I'm still living in the same bedroom I had in high school, and whatever. You get a chance to get away, get the college experience, but yet still get the cheaper in-state tuition, and whatever. It's a good school, so I decided to go up there. But part of that was, I guess part of going up there is knowing that you got to come home, for things like Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, that kind of thing. So you make that drive a lot, and that drive is not an easy drive. You get kind of used to it after a while, but it's not an easy drive. And so there was one instance that happened. It was actually over Thanksgiving break. And what happened was, at the time, Michigan Tech didn't have semesters. They had what we called trimesters, where the actual school year was broken down into 3 trimesters instead of 2 semesters, which is 2 semesters is pretty standard for most colleges, okay? And they actually changed over to 2 semesters while I was there. So it was something that was old school and kind of carried over, but they had these 3 trimesters. So what that meant is that rather than just coming home for Thanksgiving break, that was finals for the first semester. So you actually had final exams right before Thanksgiving. And as part of that, we got, you only get a select amount of days off for Thanksgiving. So I wanted to make the most of my time by coming home immediately. But the issue was my last final was actually on, I believe it was Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and it was at 6 p.m. So it was in the evening. And that was a terrible Predator missile. I'm terrible with the Predator missile sometimes, guys. I don't know what it is. When I watch them back, I see where I should have put it, but I never put it in the right spot. So don't yell at me too much. But anyway, so basically, I decided that if for some reason I thought it was a good idea that I would drive home immediately following my last exam. So like I said, the last exam I had started Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Typical exams, I don't know, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, can take around an hour and a half, 2 hours, I guess. Probably typical for an exam, for if it's a tough class. An hour if it's a fairly easy class, at least where I went. So I don't remember what the class was, but it's not important. The bottom line is I didn't get on the road till about 8 p.m. And this is a terrible idea. I mean, if you're that far away and you got that long of a drive ahead of you at night, it's not good. But I did have a riding buddy, which was my roommate at the time. His name was Chet, and he's still one of my good friends, even though I don't get to talk to him too much. But he was riding with me, and we made it all through the Upper Peninsula. That's about, I guess, the halfway point, time-wise. And we made it there, got some gas, because, again, this is a long trip. I think it's around 500 miles. So we stopped and got gas, got food, and it's already late. It's probably midnight or so, midnight, 1 o'clock, and we're coming into the Lower Peninsula. And I'm starting to get pretty tired. I mean, I crammed the night before. I was up late studying for this test. I was up all day, took the exam. Now it's really late. And driving tired is something, I've watched like those shows where they talk about driving tired being worse than driving drunk. And at this point, I'm in that state. It's not good for me to be driving. I'm like, just out of my mind, right? Just delirious. So tired you can't even think straight. And I'm doing things like, it's cold out in Michigan in November. I'm putting the window down, sticking my head out there, I got Mountain Dew going. I was just like pumping myself full of caffeine. I was, trying to stay awake. And I look over at Chet, I'm trying to keep him, to keep talking to me, keeping me motivated to keep my eyes on the road. And I look over at one point, and I just see Chet, eyes closed, mouth open, just snoring away. I was like, oh great. So I'm rolling solo here. I'm all by myself, and I start noticing Christmas trees all over the road. And this is weird because I'm starting to feel like I'm a little delirious, and I'm like, am I actually seeing this? This is really weird. And they weren't necessarily on the road. They were off to the side, off to the left, off to the right. And I'm passing these things, maybe 5 of them at first, and then I'm counting them. It's like going up to 10, 15. And I'm like, what is this? This is weird. And all of a sudden, like, when you're going like 80 miles an hour on the highway and then you see something, and at night it's like it comes into your headlights and it's too late to even move. Well, there was a Christmas tree like all the way across the lane I was in. And I was like, there was no time to even react to it. So basically, I'm driving, and all of a sudden this Christmas tree, boom, right in my headlights. And I was like, oh, hold on. I hit the brakes, tried to slow down as much as I could, and bam, I hit this Christmas tree. Like, it's bundled up, but I hit it. And went right over the top of it, doing about, 60 miles an hour. Chet wakes up out of a sound sleep like, what was that? What'd you hit? And I was like, I think I hit a Christmas tree? And he was like, what? And I'm like, we need to, all of a sudden we started hearing this whoop, 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 whoop noise. And I'm like, dude, we gotta hit the next exit. Something's fucked with my car. And so we get to the next exit, stop at the gas station, look underneath the car, and basically what had happened was that tree, like I said, was bundled up for transportation, and it had unbundled underneath my car, and basically the undercarriage of my car stripped this thing of all the branches. I was like, oh man, it's just like there was one stuck in my wheel, which was causing the whoop, whoop, whoop noise. But we got that taken care of, cleaned all the branches out. People were looking at us funny at the gas station we were at. And finally, we get back on the road. I dropped Chet off at his house. And on the way to Chet's house, though, we found out the source of the Christmas trees. There was a trucker that was hauling these things. And his load was like sloped down in the back. Like he had been dropping these things for miles and not even knowing. And he's like on his cell phone, probably talking to his boss, like, I screwed up, I don't know how many of these things I lost. And I'm like, dude, you better go back because there's about 50 of them. And I just hit one. And I thought my car was going to be jacked, but it wasn't. So anyway, finished this game 40-5, guys. Hope you like my little story there. And yeah, that was the story of me hitting a Christmas tree. And I don't know that that'll ever happen again. Hopefully it doesn't. But anyway, guys, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have fun with your families. Have a good holiday. And that's it. We'll catch up with you later.